Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy John Altidor with Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Back at you with another one. My boys Vlad and Barry. What's good, fellas?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Hey, doing well. Can't complain. Just another day in paradise. You already know the vibes.
You know the vibes. Yeah, before we start up, man, we'd like to remind you, if you have questions and you'd like us to answer it on the show, please send us an email or a DM on social media, whatever you'd like or whatever's easier for you. You can even text us if you have questions for us. So the email is profansports1@gmail.com, and you can also support the podcast by donating on the website www.profansports.com. All right, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, instagram.com/profans_sports. Okay, we're on Twitter, Profan Sports, Facebook, Profan Sports, and then on YouTube, youtube.com/Profan Sports. You can catch us on there. We drop our episodes every Tuesday morning on all major streaming platforms, and our videos come out on YouTube every Wednesday morning. And before we start the show, we'd like to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Happy Father's Day, John.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you.
yes, happy Father's Day to John, as well as my father, Jay Ebua. So, and happy Father's Day to all the great fathers out there that hold it down for their families day in and day out. So, we appreciate you guys and what you do. So, big shout outs to y'all.
Well, I want to send a special Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that listen to the show.
Yes, definitely.
Facts. Listen to the show, man.
Any of the fan of the shows that's a dad, Happy Father's Day.
Yes, big facts, absolutely.
Yeah, man. And you know, I think this is a cliche thing, but like, if the dad is not in the picture and you're holding down all that stuff too, I guess Happy Father's Day to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
anybody that plays a father role, a father figure, honestly, you should be wish a Happy Father's Day.
For real though. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true. Facts.
Yeah. So guys, this weekend, something big happened this weekend. You guys know what it is. Juneteenth. How was your weekend? Juneteenth on Friday?
My Juneteenth was good. Took the day off from work.
Yeah.
After for almost 3 months, finally saw my friends. We all got together for Juneteenth. Went to the beach. Tried to social distance as much as possible. But I think it was just a really good time to like see each other and be with each other.
Yeah, Barry, did you get to do anything on Juneteenth?
Yeah, I did a little bit on Juneteenth. I took the day off from work as well, as Vlad did, and I was able to go to Sandy Beach in Winchester, Mass, and do some swimming and go in the water and and then have a good time over there with a couple of my friends. So it was really cool and awesome to actually have the day off and enjoy and relax and and then have a good time.
Did it actually feel like a holiday to you?
It did, but it felt like a regular day because, I know earlier that day I was, running some errands and doing what I had to do and stuff. And so, I definitely understand the importance of the day and, and appreciative of and grateful, that we do have this day.
Finally.
It's about damn time. For real, seriously, it took long enough, way long overdue, to say the least. So it definitely felt like a holiday, and and I was glad that I was able to, get the day off from work to be able to enjoy it and have that time to myself.
Yeah, no, I actually took the day off myself. I didn't have the day off. And so I requested a day off at the beginning of the week because I was just like, listen, man, this is the year, like, you know, things are changing, and, you know, I'm definitely gonna celebrate it. I said to myself, from now on, I'm not gonna work that day at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take it as like 4th of July, and I'm gonna be out there barbecuing and whatever. And it just so happened that it was my good friend's birthday that day. You know, went to college with her, so shout outs to Julie. Went out to North Billerica with her and her fiance Mike. You know, we got to go out on the boats, and, you know, my daughter got to go out on them, and it actually felt like a 4th of July. You know, we had food, we had beers, we had drinks, we had the balls thrown around, kids on the slip and slide. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. That's awesome.
It was pretty cool, man. And I hope a lot of people, I hope majority of you people actually took the day for yourselves and actually celebrated, because, you know, I think it's been long overdue. And as we can see a lot of changes, man, I just hope these changes keep continuing. You know what I'm saying? And while that happened, the NBA and the NFL recognized Juneteenth and gave their employees a day off too. So I see a lot of that stuff happening around the country. You know, a lot of companies are noticing it. Some companies are doing some fuck shit, like Elon Musk talking about, oh, it's gonna be a holiday, but it's gonna be a paid. You're gonna have to take a day off, kind of like a, you know, personal day to actually enjoy the day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And his excuse was like, well, a lot of holidays are like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not like a regular holiday, bro.
Facts,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, this is not, you know, there's holidays fucking people just drink all day and wear green. You know what I'm saying? Not to knock the Irish people, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, what is that holiday really about? I don't know. Do you guys know? What is St. Patty's Day about?
I believe it's the day that Catholicism reached the Irish or something like that.
I've never heard that.
Nothing
before.
that I know of. I'm not Irish and I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day. But I do think that, Juneteenth should be made a national holiday. That hasn't happened yet, so there's still a lot to fight for. Until that happens, we should keep fighting for that.
There's a bill.
The
Democrats put a bill to actually change it to a national holiday.
But it's, you know, it's taken like this year that people are trying to like fuck the country up.
Right.
For that to happen. No, that's true.
But anyway, so I think it should be made a national holiday, and all companies should take it off.
I seen this meme the other day. It's like, yo, white people are acting like black people just came out.
Pretty much, right? Pretty much.
Pretty much, bro. It's like, there's so much shit that, you know, that's been held from us. It's like a lot of people, you know, kind of like Donald Trump talking about, I made Juneteenth famous this week. It's like, are you? Yeah, you're a fucking joke, buddy.
Yeah,
right. Get out of here with
you know what that is? It's like Christopher Columbus, right? Christopher Columbus.
Yes.
Right.
He
I discovered America.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing Trump is doing with Juneteenth. It's like, people's been celebrating Juneteenth for years, like
forever, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so now he wants to take the opportunity to like make it his own thing. He made it happen, and you know, fuck
out of here.
I made it very. Nobody knew what it was.
No, you didn't know.
No.
Right. You're dumbass and ignorant and uneducated ass that didn't know. Like, the black American, the black community knew exactly what Juneteenth was, even prior to this year. It had, obviously, this year was the events that had, you know, transpired recently throughout the last several months that had more meaning behind it and more significance behind it. But we knew exactly what it was, and we're already well aware of what the holiday meant to, you know, us as, you know, the black community, well before Trump even was here, or we even knew who Trump was exactly.
I don't even think we have to tell them, you know, but like as listeners, we want to educate you guys and make sure you guys know this stuff, you know, because we know we do have, you know, a lot of white fans as well, and we love them all, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We just want you guys to know, you know, we are, you know, a black podcast, and we're always gonna make sure we empower the people. You know, we empower everybody at the same time too. And actually, Which brings me to the next one, which is a question from Lizzie Walbridge, and she wanted to know, is the NFL taking the day off for Juneteenth? And just wanted to answer that. Yes, they are taking the day off, and I think it's a big deal, because if you know the history and you've been watching the NFL recently, it's been different. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Colin Kaepernick and all that stuff, which actually brings us into the NFL. So let's tackle the NFL a little bit. Roger Goodell supports the signing of Kaepernick. You guys been paying attention to that?
Yeah, of course. As I've said in previous shows, it's too little too late. Like, what do you mean you support so have you not supported the signing of Kaepernick? What was all the thing he did last year? What was that about? The trials he did last year, or the video that he did last year, what was that about? All the teams that supposedly brought him in to work out, what was that about? Did you not support him then? Like, it's too little too late now. Like, I don't care what Roger Goodell is saying about the Kaepernick thing. I hope Kaepernick gets signed, but Roger Goodell, any of the owners that are coming out now saying to support the signing of Kaepernick, like, meaning it just shows you that you actually blackballed him, and that
they're showing their hand,
that you didn't want to get him signed the last 4 or 5 years. So I don't care what you guys say. It's too late now to like make good.
Do you think it's a big deal that Roger Goodell actually said it and actually said his name?
I don't.
Barry, do you think that's a big deal?
Not really. I'm kind of with Vlad in the sense that it's pretty much irrelevant.
Yeah.
That he's saying this now, and I was just gonna say that he's actually saying this in spite of actually coming out with the apology directed towards Colin Kaepernick. We're still waiting to hear that apology from Roger Goodell to Colin Kaepernick. He came out with this, a bogus ass apology and a really vague and general apology that, didn't mention Colin Kaepernick and wasn't towards him. It was just a real broad and generalized apology. So I don't know if this is his way of apologizing and saying that, I fucked up, that he should be, in the league and, deserves to be back. But I mean, at this point, it's like you're really saying that 4 years later after the fact, of him kneeling and peaceful protesting, during the national anthem. What's up?
Well, I heard that could be like it could be like a, I don't know, violation for, because Colin Kaepernick took them to court. And they came through with a settlement and things like that. So I've heard that some people have mentioned the fact that it could be like, if they actually apologize to him, that's like them admitting, and then therefore Colin Kaepernick could like take them back to court and be like, you see, like, this is exactly what I told you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, anytime a company settle, it means that the company is admitting guilt to some degree, right? Mm-hmm. Like anytime a company settle, even though they didn't say that in court,
right,
they're admitting some kind of guilt to some degree. So even though it could be a legal breaching, apologizing, it should be done.
Right.
It's worth the risk to breach that legal contract or whatever to apologize, because it's such a big deal.
If you were Colin Kaepernick, if they actually breached it, would you go hard at them again, or would you just want like a chance to get back in?
I think everybody know what happened. I don't think that fight is, I don't know if it's worth going back at them. I mean, I would, if I'm Colin Kaepernick, I would want to play. And I don't, even if Colin Kaepernick goes at them again, he should still play. Even if he decides to take them back to court, he should still be in the NFL and take them back to court.
You know, that'd be kind of awkward, huh?
So that would be really odd and awkward kind of vibe.
Jerry Jones took the NFL to court before. He's still in the NFL.
Yeah, but that's Jerry Jones.
No, but I don't care.
Jerry Jones.
And that's Colin Kaepernick. He's making all this that's happening now.
Right now.
I'm not saying Colin Kaepernick started it all, but Colin Kaepernick has a lot to do with all the racial awareness that's going on in the country right now.
Facts.
So I don't care if it's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones wasn't who he was when he first bought the Cowboys. You know, what I mean? It took a while to build who he is, and Colin Kaepernick has built himself as a social activist that is well known around the country, and he should be respected. So as the quarterback, even though he's playing with the team, if he wants to take the NFL back to court saying, hey, you guys are admitting to blackballing me, so be it. But anyways, I'm more of like, what is past has passed, so let's go on with the future. That's probably how I would approach it. But I'm saying if Colin Kaepernick decides to do both, I'm with you.
Yeah, no, I like that too, man. I think he should have the ability to do both, you know. Kind of like they do, you know, mess you up and then sign you whenever they want to.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of Colin Kaepernick.
Right. No, I agree. Decided to cut you off, John. I think, he should. I don't know if he should take him back to court. I think he should just focus on, playing ball and, get him back in the league and getting his, NFL career back and being, the best quarterback that he can be and getting himself ready for whichever teams that want to, give him an opportunity and that want to actually bring him in for a tryout or for a visit, since, training camp is approaching within the next month. And I have been hearing that there are some interest in the league and regarding Colin Kaepernick and like some actual interest, not the interest that this team's like really interested, but they're like not interested or they're not bullying. There's actually some legit interest this time in actually, getting him signed and bringing him in. So I think that, in a sense that he should just move on from that. Like we all know he was right in doing what he did in protesting a few years ago. So at this point, he just, needs to focus on playing ball and getting back in the league and getting ready for this upcoming season and for his next opportunity, which I do believe will be coming in the very near future.
I hope so, man. Speaking on him, Trump actually said that he should get another chance to play in the NFL if he is good, but that he won't watch if the NFL players are kneeling again. So bringing it back to the whole bullshit, what is it, national anthem argument or whatever. This guy just won't stop, man. So I think that's very funny. Did you guys seen that, right?
Yeah.
I laughed when I saw it. Did you guys laugh?
That was laughable. That was hilarious.
Serious, dude.
Right.
This dude, he's a really funny dude, man.
I just don't listen to anything that guy has to say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nothing he says matters to me in a sense.
Yeah.
Or like whatever he says, it's gonna be an idiot statement or something.
Yeah, no, man.
Facts. No, that's true. I agree.
Yeah. While all this is going on and everybody's speaking out, Roger Goodell, Donald Trump, the players, one person that has not been speaking at all is Jerry Jones. He still not has said a word about the racial tension. And he's been called out a couple times by a few players. One notably is Richard Sherman. And I think Des Bryant said, he needs to do something about this stuff too. How do you guys feel about the guy that owns the most lucrative NFL team on the planet, still hasn't said anything about everything that's going on?
I've never looked at Jerry Jones as the guy to look up to. I've never seen him as the leader. Maybe he's the financial leader. Maybe he's the macho guy or whatever, the cowboy. But that I've never seen Jerry Jones as the guy that I'm gonna be like, oh, let me wait to see what Jerry says. Like I've looked, as much as I think Mr. Kraft is a double-sided kind of guy, like he might act good in front of you and not be good behind your back. I still think I would wait for Robert Kraft to say something before I look for Jerry Jones to say something. Jerry Jones is to me he's a nasty old man. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna look. So is Robert Kraft, but Robert Kraft has done more things in the public eye that are, what do you call that?
Good.
Good, I guess, but I
Or humanitarian.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. He's done more of that than I've seen Jerry Jones do that. So, to me,
No, Robert Kraft is very generous. We know
Right,
that.
absolutely, yeah.
He likes to be generous at parlors.
and look at what he did for the Pope.
You caught that.
I heard it, of course, John, of course.
Look at what he did when COVID happened. You know, took his plane to
No, that
China,
was huge.
blah, blah, blah. All that is great. So all I'm saying is, I'm not looking for Jerry Jones to do anything. Like, Jerry Jones, to me, he's not the upstanding citizen that's gonna like make things happen. Whether he should say something or not is a different story. I definitely think he should say something. Am I disappointed that Jerry Jones didn't say anything? I'm just saying I didn't expect any better.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Do you feel like Jerry Jones should be saying something, Barry?
Yeah, definitely.
What should he be saying?
And he should be speaking up and should be in support of the Black Lives Matter protest and movement.
Why?
What do you mean why? I mean, look who he has playing and working for him. I mean, he has many black players on that Cowboys team that, you know, go to war for him each and every Sunday, particularly the most high-profile players on that team. When you think of the quarterback, Dak Prescott, the running back, Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, the top receiver.
The offensive line.
Yeah, a good part of the offensive line is black. I know they have like one or two offensive linemen that are white, but the majority of them are black. DeMarcus Lawrence, who's a good defensive player. He's also black. I don't know if you guys know who Gerald McCoy is. He's a new defensive lineman from the Bucks that they just signed. And he was another person who actually also called out Jerry Jones for not speaking up and for being his silent. He was on First Take this week with Stephen A. and Max.
We drafted CD Lamb.
The Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb. That's another one. Another black player. So that you get my point that he has all that, these, you know, black, you know, players who are part of his organization and are, you know, a big part of who the Cowboys are today. So I'm sure they would greatly appreciate and be grateful of him actually saying something that has, I'm sure, deeply affected those guys in terms of, you know, and then, in terms of, you know, not only their own lives, but I'm sure their families' lives as well that have been impacted by this. So I'm surprised those guys up until now haven't really pushed Jerry Jones to say something. I know there are players that work for him, so they can only really do and say so much. And Jerry Jones is, to me, one of those guys that Jerry Jones is gonna do what he wants to do and say what he wants to do. Yep. Like, if he doesn't, and he's always about his bottom line. So if he is not gonna do something or say something that he doesn't feel like saying or doing, he's not gonna say it regardless of what people think. Like, he's always gonna do him regardless and be his own person and do whatever he thinks is best for him and is what's in best interest for the Cowboys and for his bottom line at the end of the day, since he's a businessman. So he's not gonna do anything that affects him from that standpoint, but I do feel like he definitely deserves it. To those guys that I just named, he should at least, you know, say something in regards to the social injustice that has been going on in the country, because he's one of the most high profile people in the NFL and in all of sports. Right, whether you like the guy or not. Like, when he says something, I know he says a lot of things that, you know, people aren't really fond of, and that and that a lot of people don't really like, but I mean, when he speaks up and says something, that carries a lot more weight, and it is even louder than the majority of the owners and the majority of the people in sports that speak up and say something. So I feel like in that sense he should definitely at least have some sort of courtesy and some sort of respect for all the guys that work for him and that associated with that are Black and African American, to show some sort of support through this tough time that the Black American, the Black community is going through right now. I'm sure those guys would definitely greatly appreciate it.
No, I definitely agree. I think I'm with both of you guys, because both of you guys. Well, you said you didn't care to hear it, but he should say it. Yeah. And I definitely agree with that. And you just think he needs to come out and say something, period. And I think I'm leaning more towards Vlad, as I don't look at Jerry Jones for like any type of guidance at all. Well, whenever anything happens, I don't see him as a guy that's gonna take leadership. You know what I'm saying? But when things are getting fucked up, I can see Jerry Jones, being like that front runner, he wants to change this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to like owner meetings or like rule meetings, or when it comes to the draft, I'm going to be in the room, I'm going to make the picks. You got, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
it's like stuff like that, So, He's a rash guy, man, and I'd be very, very surprised if Jerry Jones came out and actually said Black Lives Matter and supports the guys. What I thought was very interesting while we were having this conversation is I remember the video the NFL players made recently. Was Dak Prescott on there? I don't believe he was on there.
No, but Ezekiel Elliott was on there.
Was Zeke on there?
I don't remember.
I know someone from the Cowboys was on there. I don't believe Dak Prescott was on there, but I think Ezekiel Elliott was. They had at least one player on that team.
Yeah, and I think I'm actually disappointed Dak wasn't on there. And it's like, bro, you're a black.
He should have been on there. I agree.
You're coming up on a big ass contract. You know what I'm saying? This is the time you could use. All the leverage you can to actually make that happen. So
for sure,
hopefully he comes out and says something. But I know him; he's more of like the, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. When it comes to like his stance against like what happened with Colin Kaepernick. If you remember, he wasn't really trying to touch it. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, I respect. I'm gonna stand for the flag. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So,
but he did speak up on it, and he has spoken up on other controversial things and subjects that have happened in the past. So it's kind of surprising how when all this is going on, he's not saying a word. We're not hearing from him when he's an outspoken guy and a guy that usually doesn't hide behind closed doors and is usually out there speaking his mind and getting his word out there. So I'm kind of surprised that you guys are surprised that you're not looking for him to say anything and that you don't expect for him to say anything. Knowing that like he's a guy that is not shy and is always gonna speak his mind.
Great. So you're surprised that we're not surprised? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No. I mean,
but it's Jerry Jones. Nothing he says.
No, seriously. Like if you think back on like
nothing
any
he
kind
says,
of
I
issue,
agree with. Nothing he says comes out and said that I'm like in favor of. Like when the players were kneeling for the flag a couple years ago, he didn't want his players to kneel during the anthem. They kneel in the middle of the field after the anthem, but during the anthem he didn't want. Like he was against that. I don't look for Jerry Jones to come out. I'm saying he should. He definitely should. He should support his players, especially if the NFL gets to play this fall. I expect his players to kneel, and I want to see what he does when that happens. But as far as Jerry Jones is concerned, I don't look for Jerry Jones for the powerful message and what to do.
Hey, at least we got.
But I just looked up the video. Zeke was on there multiple times, but Dak wasn't on there.
Dak wasn't on there. Good for Zeke, man.
Yeah, big shout outs to Zeke.
Yeah, at least if Jerry Jones is not saying something, you know, the other guys that are in, you know, places of power are doing some things, you know, like the Patriots. Before the NFL came out and said that they were observing Juneteenth, I think the Patriots were one of the first teams to actually give the players the day off. You know, so shout outs to them, man. And, you know, they haven't been in like the best light as of late since Donald Trump came in. Not just because of that, but like, I think that added some fuel to the fire for the fans and stuff like that, you know, and how the fans reacted to the players raising their fists and stuff. So I'm glad to see that they're taking, you know, a lead on this and putting it in the forefront and doing something about it, man. You know, but with so many teams celebrating Juneteenth, supporting Black Lives Matter, and approving of their players kneeling, you think the NFL is like moving away from Trump?
That's a really hard thing to answer. I doubt. I just think the NFL are so money hungry that right now they're playing the game, right? The game right now is everybody that wants money support Black Lives Matter. That's the game right now, right?
Yeah.
And also, all your top players are black. Your MVP is black. Your top quarterback is black. Your defensive player of the year is black, like we said last week. So because of that, I feel as though the NFL is playing the game right now. So I feel as though I don't think they're moving away from Trump. I think they're trying to play both sides, especially the Patriots, to be honest,
And the Cowboys.
and the Cowboys.
Well, they're not
for that
really
matter.
playing both sides, you know,
But-
Jerry Jones.
Right.
The Patriots are playing both sides because when Trump was going into power, Belichick wrote a letter that Trump read out in public supporting him.
The Brady locker room situation.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Robert Kraft has come out publicly that he supports Trump, or that's my friend, or whatever he said. So I think they're playing both sides. I bet you they're 100% playing both sides. I don't trust, I don't trust rich white man.
I definitely get what you're saying, but I actually think the NFL is starting to, go against Trump and separate themselves from Trump just from the
How
simple,
so?
just for the simple fact that there's a lot of guys that have come out and been, very vocal about the Black Lives Matter movement, and that have gone as far as to say that they're going to be more than willing to kneel during the national anthem when the season does start and when the games are played. I feel like that's definitely a good and big step, for the league, and not only have the African American black players said that, even some of the white players have
Drew Brees
said that
after he fucked up.
well, not only him, but Baker Mayfield and J.J. Watt have said that they are planning to kneel during the national anthem when the season does start. Even Bill O'Brien said that as well, even though he's a coach. But I mean, that still is pretty big for him to say that. I think certainly there's some teams that do still side with Trump, like the Patriots do, since the top guys in that organization do have a good relationship and are really good friends with Donald Trump. But I feel as though more organizations than not, for the most part, are starting to separate themselves away from him and try to not really associate with Trump at all, and be against what he's been saying, since it's I'm sure a lot of those guys on those organizations don't agree with what he's been saying, and so I certainly think that is a sign that the league is starting to go against Donald Trump.
Nah, Give me a second. I think like Vlad, I'm not sure like if the league is moving away from Donald Trump. I definitely know that there's still some owners that support him that still like, you know, send him like 2.5 mil for his campaigns and stuff like that. So there are a couple out there still, and we know the Patriots are one of those teams that support him, you know. So I think they are playing both sides, you know, both sides of the fence. But at the same time, maybe the owners are not going away from Donald Trump, but the players are definitely going away from Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And
I hope the players were always away from Donald Trump.
Yeah, but
facts,
but
exactly.
before, I think they were.
It's not Drew Brees, right?
No, I think before.
Yeah, or a select fewer guys in the league. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right. No, I think before they were afraid of like the consequences.
Yeah.
And then now Black Lives Matter movement is coming around. If anybody speaks and they're reprimanded for anything because they spoke up about like social injustice, or you know they spoke out about something the president is saying, or they go, you know, they're going against him, I don't think anybody's gonna do anything to them because they're so scared of the backlash that they're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the cancel culture is real, man.
Cancel
You know what I'm saying? Like the cancel culture is real. At the same time, I don't know if cancel culture definitely can't like affect an organization to the point where, you know, they just like stop working or anything like that. But at the same time, it's like your fan base, you know, it's a big population. And
I think Roger Goodell needs to make $25 billion for the owners. So I don't
25 billion?
Yeah.
What?
So
shit.
as a league, right? As a league, and then distribute it to all the other owners. So whatever that is, you know what I mean? So I think as soon as the league starts losing money, they start losing viewers. I don't think he wants to risk that, you know what I'm trying to say? So I think he's going to do whatever in his power to not lose as many views as possible.
Yeah, no, you know, you were saying, you know, everybody's going to jump on Black Lives Matter because that's what's in right now.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of this text DL Hughley put out. Not a text, he like a tweet or something like that.
Okay.
He said, Black Lives Matter is the new green.
What do you mean by new?
Yeah, right.
Black Lives Matter is the new green. Like, corporations are gonna use that shit to advance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see Amazon is on it now. Oh yeah, let's go buy from Amazon because they support us now. You know what I'm saying? Any fucking, you know, marketplace that puts up, you know, you know, Whole Foods, you know, stops employees from working with Black Lives Matter masks. Let's cancel them. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's like
same thing happened to
Starbucks. Yes.
Yeah.
I hate Starbucks.
I hate Starbucks.
Right. Starbucks was trash anyway to begin with. Right.
I always look people that goes to Starbucks the wrong way. Like, why are you going to Starbucks?
Why?
I don't know.
That shit's expensive as shit.
Exactly.
Right.
I didn't
understand. Ain't even that good.
I didn't understand why people goes there,
bro. And I can't go in there and just get a small coffee. Got to be like a venti or a denti. What the fuck you talking about?
Exactly, for real.
You know what I'm saying? Can I get a fucking small coffee?
Exactly.
Well, the tall is like the smallest, right?
What is that?
You order the tall and you're like, yo, this is small.
Because I know when I get a tall beer, I get a tall fucking beer.
But you know why I always hated people that went to Starbucks? Because they look down upon you if you don't go with them. Because you don't drink Starbucks like I do? You drink Dunkin'? Oh, you must be poor, son.
Fuck out of here, please. Dunkin' over Starbucks any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Starbucks is trash and it fucking sucks. Simple as that.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, with that said, I just they are doing some right things, you know, with calling Juneteenth a holiday, giving the players off, which, you know, I'm like grateful for it, but I'm like really fucking annoyed that we are just now like actually recognizing it. You know,
but better late than never, though.
Fuck all that shit, bro. Better late than never. It's like, bro, we've been here, man. And I mean, because of the protests, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm glad it's happening. Don't get me wrong. I'm just like, bro, like, it just pisses me off. Like, what you're saying. All this time, you know, these things are being held from us, and it's like they wasn't gonna do anything unless we spoke up about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's
you're right.
Yo,
you're right.
what the fuck are we doing, man?
Right, they should have been happened. They should have been recognized.
It just should have
Juneteenth
been
as
there,
a
man.
holiday years ago. Right, decades ago. Yeah.
For real, dude. Like, this is our Independence Day, and we should have been able to celebrate it just like July 4th for the longest time. That's what I'm saying. You know?
We should even have like our own fireworks show and everything. Right.
Yeah, but I think come this season when the players start to kneel and Donald Trump start going crazy again about, the NFL and, riling the people up and stuff, I think that's when like the owners are gonna be like, listen, man, cut the shit. You feel me? Like this.
So what are they gonna tell their players, not to kneel?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The players are going to do regardless.
Not the players. I'm talking about in regards to Donald Trump, when he starts tweeting and they're like, dude, all right, enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, cut the shit. We're not with that shit.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, the owners are billionaires, but the players make the fucking league. You see how scared the NBA guys got when Kyrie was like, yo, let's go make our own league. It's like, it's crazy. This dude's crazy.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't even want to get on that yet because we're not on the NBA yet.
Yeah, right.
But let's just get through the NFL. Another news in the NFL: the NFLPA is advising players against training in groups because of the coronavirus. So I don't know if you guys haven't been paying attention. A couple coronavirus cases came out and things like that, and the NFL is telling the players, do not do these private workouts where you have like a whole personnel group, going in, because
the whole offense,
putting stuff in, and they're saying, look, we're trying to get everybody to the season as healthy as possible. So it would be really helpful if you guys wasn't meeting up in other states, working out, which is going to affect the season for everybody, if that's the case. I actually kind of like that players were taking initiative and coming together and doing their own thing, but at the same time,
I think everybody was excited for that because it means that, okay, maybe there's gonna be football, football will happen. Because for a while, players couldn't even practice, they couldn't even be next to each other. Once you start seeing players next to each other, they start throwing the ball, Brady throwing the ball, you're like, oh shit, I'm getting excited, you know what I mean? Getting like flashback of the NFL or something like that. But I think it just shows you how the virus is such an unknown. Like,
it's real.
We thought we were good. We thought we could get started, but like, you're hearing cases with the MLB, you're hearing cases with the NFL, with the NBA. So it's definitely like very present and very worrisome in a way. Worrisome to the point that what could happen? Could we not have an NFL season this year? Like, you know what I mean? So it's definitely worrisome.
To combat that, somebody like Dr. Fauci was suggesting that the NFL actually play in like a bubble like the NBA is doing, right? I don't know how that's gonna work with all, because there's so many players on these NFL rosters, man.
Yeah.
How could you play in a bubble like?
Yeah,
right.
The NBA has like 15 players.
Exactly, to a roster.
Has 53, right.
Has 53
active,
not including practice squad.
Practice squad, exactly. So it's. And the amount of coaches they have, the amount of personnel they have. So it's definitely gonna. If that were to happen, I don't think the NFL season would happen.
Yeah,
it'd be really hard to keep track of that.
John Harbaugh has come out talking about, I don't see how we're gonna follow these rules for the NFL season. He doesn't see any way that they're gonna stop anything with the rules that they're trying to implement. With the facilities and stuff like that. You can't have this amount of players. With people working out, touching the same equipment and all that stuff. He's just like, dude, this is kind of impossible.
One of the rules that they had was almost like a no huddle. Like, almost you cannot huddle because you're so close to each other in the huddle.
So what? They're gonna have everybody have a chip in their helmet?
Or run a no huddle offense?
I don't know.
Either run the no huddle offense the whole game, or
I think
everybody has a radio in their head,
in their helmets. Exactly.
At least the quarterback can scream out the play and everybody receives it.
That's what the XFL did. So maybe the NFL might.
The XFL did that?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Wow.
Every player when the coach speak, all the players just heard what heard.
I don't know why the NFL wouldn't do that, because that makes it better for the players. Everybody's on the same page.
On the same page.
You know,
right, exactly. They should have done that.
But I think there's something about like the quarterback calling the play. I don't know.
No, that's bullshit. If you want a good product, you know what I'm saying, you give everybody. I don't understand why they haven't thought of that before. Like, if we're in a loud ass stadium, why wouldn't you allow me to have all my players to have something in their head?
I think that's the point of the game, though. Like, if every player has a headset in their head, then that takes away from the effect of the fans. Like, so the Super Bowl that Peyton Manning played against the Seahawks, where he lost 43-8 or whatever the score was all because of the fans. The fans were so loud that Peyton Manning couldn't communicate to his offense, and that made the game beautiful. That like the fans affected like the game, and I think that's important too.
To me, that's not fair.
You want to keep that as part of the game.
To me, that's not fair.
It is fair. I don't know. That's what home. What do you call that?
The home
field advantage.
That's right.
I get it, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yo, if you have a product and you want the best version of the product, why wouldn't you do that? Like, we do have the technology now.
I love it. I think it's beautiful when, like, the Patriots, for a long time, one of the reasons why the Patriots were successful is because they had the ability to run the no-huddle offense when a lot of other teams couldn't do that because their quarterback just weren't smart enough or advanced enough to do it.
No, I mean, I definitely see what you're saying. I'm not, like, disagreeing with that at all.
But it could help.
Saying, like, like, as we move forward, it's like, yo, bring the game forward. You're changing all the rules. You're adding extra technology. Cameras here, cameras there. Why can't we all have a headset? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know. Even if the crowd is really loud, like, players on the other team should be able to, like, get the play. You know what I'm saying? From the quarterback, at least be able to. You know. I don't know. That's just my take on it, but
that's interesting for sure. John, I never really thought of that, but that's certainly a thing that should, probably happen. But yeah, I think with the NFL bubble thing, that's not realistic.
That's not realistic at all.
That's not gonna happen because there's no facility that has multiple football fields and that could actually like be able to hold those amount of teams that do come in to to that facility. Like that just can't happen. Not even the Pro Hall of Fame and Canton, Ohio. I don't know if you guys have been there.
Right. That's a big place.
Right, it's huge for sure, but they don't even have more than one big football field to be able to actually.
What if they send 16 teams somewhere and 16 teams somewhere else?
Bro, that's what they should have did in the first place. Buy a fucking island, man.
Nah, I don't.
They should have an emergency island where sporting events can go be played at. When shit hits the fan.
That's too much power.
That is a lot of power.
Too much power.
I mean, dude, like you said, Roger Goodell is supposed to make them $25 billion a year. They got the money, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you have a contingency plan, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, somewhere that's completely uninhabited, just got workers over there. Just keep the place clean until we need it.
Too much power.
You know what I'm saying? But I want to move on from this. Other NFL news, Trent Williams from the Redskins, he actually signed with the 49ers.
Let's call them the racial slur. Let's not even say their name.
Trent Williams?
No, I'm talking
about the Washington Redskins, yeah.
I'm not even going to say their name.
Oh, you mean, okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. I was confused for a little bit. Oh, so you mean like the Washington racial slurs?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what we should call them from now on.
Yeah, I was listening to the NPR segment and the host called them the Washington racial slurs.
Yo,
and I was like, I have to start calling them that now.
Nah, it makes absolute sense. I think we talked about it a little bit last week, right?
Yeah.
Man, you shouldn't do that, and you know that's a deserving name.
They need to change their name.
You know, but I'm actually really glad for Trent Williams though, because the man sat out a whole year because.
Yeah. Well, he didn't trust the medical staff. The medical staff.
Yeah.
With the Redskins and
the stories that I was hearing,
or the racial slurs.
The Washington racial slurs.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna take a while to stick until they change it. But yeah, man, the stories I was hearing from Trent Williams, man, I'm just like, that's really concerning because like this is. Football players want to play football, man. I don't care what nobody says. Like, they want to go out there and hit something, you know. And for him to sit out, you know, after his whole injury concern and continue speaking his displeasures and stuff like that, and he finally got traded. So I'm happy for him because he's actually one of the really good linemen in the league. And, you know,
the Patriots wanted him for a while.
Yes.
And they just couldn't get him.
Right.
Because why would you help the Patriots get better, man?
Yeah.
You know,
now you just help the national, the NFC champions get better.
No, facts. Yeah.
Now they're
going
got
back
a solid
to the Super
left
Bowl.
tackle.
Exactly, and as if they didn't already have a really good offensive line to begin with, and the offensive line just got that much better, and also their running game got that much better.
I know what it is. They didn't want Trent Williams to air him out even more, so they traded him to a good team instead of sending him to another trash team like this. You know,
or a team that they won't be playing next year.
Maybe, you know, because he knows everything about them.
But they're in the NFC. The racial slurs are in the NFC, so it's gonna. I mean, whether they play each other or not, they're gonna be in their way to get to any kind of playoff.
You know the Redskins aren't making the playoffs next year. Come on now. Or excuse me, the racial slurs aren't making the playoffs.
They're not making the playoffs. I'm just saying they traded them the same conference.
They better sign Cap.
The 49ers are gonna be in their ways no matter what.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I'm happy for him, like I was saying, but another big notable name is wishing that he gets traded. Jamal Adams from the Jets. That was big news.
Ooh, yes. Big news.
So tell me, what is Adam Gase doing over there?
Dude, like we were saying when we did our prediction show, none of us here trust Adam Gase. You know? I don't think any of us.
What kind of show is he running over?
I don't know, man. Like, that's weird. You have one of the best safeties in the league, man.
Best safety, leader in the locker room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
outspoken.
Exactly. Right, he wants to get traded. Like, you're getting rid of the glue to your team. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like,
exactly.
Adam Gase will get fired next year.
You think he's gonna get? Well, you mean for next season?
Like, I don't know if it's in the middle of the season, but definitely by end of the season, Adam Gase will be jobless.
What would it take for him to get fired during the season?
Whoa. 0-8.
0-8. I'll definitely fire his ass if I'm on.
Right.
Like,
but I think he's gonna have another 4-12 season, and he's gonna get fired.
Shit. I don't know. You know, they always talk about how smart he is. It's like, he doesn't sound like he's that smart to me with his deal.
Yeah, everybody is smart when Peyton Manning is the quarterback.
Ooh. Shots fired right there.
What's his name?
Facts, boy.
What's the offensive coordinator for the Patriots?
Josh McDaniels?
Tell me what Josh McDaniels did in Denver or in St. Louis.
Absolutely nothing.
Wait. Didn't he win a game with Tebow or something like that?
He won a playoff game. He won against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
He won a playoff game.
He was not with the Denver at that time.
He wasn't?
I thought he was the head coach of the Broncos.
That was John Fox.
Oh, really?
That was John Fox?
I guarantee you. That was John Fox.
I thought McDaniels was there.
McDaniels didn't go to the playoff with the Broncos, my dude.
He got fired.
Look it up. Yeah, he got fired.
He got fired.
Oh yeah, that's true. They let his ass go.
A year and a half into his job, he got
because he was doing so terrible.
Yes.
The only win he got is that he won one game against Belichick, and he thought he won the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Right, that was his Super Bowl. Right.
Pumping his fist so hard, bro. Like,
oh yeah, right. He thought he won a chip that day. Oh yeah.
A lot of people talk about Josh as like this offensive genius. I don't see it. I think a lot of it is Brady, and you know he does draw some nice schemes. But
he does draw up some really crazy trick plays, man. I'm like, oh, okay.
But then also his play calling at times is questionable, and like it's head scratching to say the least. Especially last year,
yes.
Especially, particularly in that playoff game against the Tennessee Titans, in which they had the ball at the 1 yard line and they had 3 chances to get it in, and they ran the ball 3 times and they still couldn't get it in. They ran it with Sony Michel up the middle twice, couldn't get it. Then 3rd and goal, you run it an outside pitch to Rex Burkhead and you lose yards. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Let's not get away from the point of discussion.
But yeah, enough about Josh McDaniels, right? Let's get back into Jamal Adams. Now let me go in on Jamal Adams in the New York Jets.
Okay, Barry.
Get him, Barry.
So we have here an all-pro safety who's been an all-pro for the last 2 years of the New York Jets. Arguably the best strong safety in the league. Right. Who's made multiple Pro Bowls and who's the best player on that team.
What's he on his 3rd year?
He's on his 3rd year. He's still on his rookie deal. He still has 1 more year left on his rookie deal before his rookie deal is up.
And he's made it twice already.
Exactly. Oh yeah, already 2 Pro Bowls, 2 All Pros already. Off the bat, leading tackler for both. He's led in tackles, led in QB hits. And he was among the league leaders in sacks for a safety. That's pretty sad, and that goes to show how bad of a defense that is if your safety is your leading tackler and your leading sack guy.
Okay,
now let me get to my point. So I don't blame Jamal Adams at all for requesting a trade and wanting out of New York, because who in their right mind, who the fuck wants to play for the New York Jets? As lousy and as miserable and as garbage and as much of a joke and laughing stock as that franchise has been for the last decade. The New York Jets have made the playoffs once in the last 10 years. One time. That's it. They have not done a damn thing since Mark Sanchez. And since Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan, they haven't done a damn thing. So if you're Jamal Adams, why the hell are you trying to play your prime years, or why are you trying to play the rest of your rookie contract on a team that's clearly not going to win, and that's not going anywhere, and that's not getting better, and they're not doing anything to improve the team?
Well, I think that, you got to look back at organizationally, the way they build things. It's like you're not building it the right way. You know what I'm saying? If this is your top guy and this is how you choose to, treat him, or the things that are leaked in the freaking media and the things that get to him, you know what I'm saying, and makes him react that way, it's like you're not building the right culture there, man. And that's clear. That's clear.
They're not at all. Absolutely not. I 100% agree with that. And that's the crazy part, is that Jamal Adams is one of the guys that you want on your team to build that culture, to make you into a winning franchise, to let the guys know that we're here to win, and we're gonna play hard every single play, every single game, and we're actually going to be a respectable and competitive team that puts, gives it their all each and every Sunday. So it makes the others better, and others play harder and raise their level of play. He's one of those guys. So for him not want to be there, and for him to want out, that just goes to show you how pathetic the New York Jets are as a team, and how pathetic of a coach Adam Gase is. Like, every single bit, everything about the New York Jets is nothing but pathetic. From the head coach to the front office to the GM, just goes right down the line. Every single thing is just a flat out joke with that team. So Jamal Adams, hey, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you get out of there ASAP, because you don't deserve this, bro. You deserve to be on a winning team, and on a team that actually is going to pay you what you're worth, and that's going to actually value your talent and value what you bring to the table each and every Sunday.
Yes, sir. On to more NFL news. Actually, Dak Prescott plans to sign his $31.4 million franchise tag on Monday, I believe. So that's going to end the free agency fiasco going on. So I'm actually happy to hear that. He hasn't done it yet, so he could change his mind. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I want to move on to the NBA, man. There's a couple things happening in the NBA. One thing actually has to do with the NFL, not to go back into it, but Greg Popovic, the coach of the Spurs, the head coach of the Spurs, the legendary coach, man, he came out and he came out hard towards the NFL. And one of his quotes was, it's just hypocritical. It's incongruent. It doesn't make sense. People aren't blind. Do you go to your staff and your players and talk about injustices in democracy and how to protest? I don't get it. I think they put themselves in a position that's unattainable, and he just went in on them, man. Just displaying his displeasure with the NFL, Roger Goodell, and how they handled the whole Colin Kaepernick situation, how they've handled Black Lives Matter as a whole, period, man. And if you know anything, Greg Popovich is one of the more outspoken coaches in the league, and he always comes hard after people. And even after his own games, he's gonna come hard at the people interviewing, at the press conferences. Anywhere he goes, he speaks his mind and he speaks the truth, and I appreciate him for that. Did you guys get to see that?
Popovic is a class act. He's one of the most outspoken coaches out there, and he always speaks on the right side of history, on the right side of the issues, or at least I always agree with whatever Pop has to say. And I think Pop is coming at the NFL in the same way I came at them earlier in the show, saying that they are riding the fence, they are hypocritical, like as he said in the quote that John just read. So they're riding the fence. They're trying to side with the players and making sure, like, oh yeah, my players can kneel now. After 4 or 5 years that I told them not to kneel, but now they can kneel, and I'm trying to support them at the same time. And I think that's where Popovich is coming from. So I think he's just putting it out there, like, don't buy into the bullshit the NFL is trying to sell you right now. They are a hypocritical company, or a hypocritical organization.
Pop couldn't have said it any better. I absolutely agree with the statement that he just stated there. It was definitely well said and well written, but for sure he pretty much hit the nail right on the head right there. I mean, that's exactly what the NFL is doing right now, and who they are. They are hypocritical, and they know they had fucked up with the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, and they're trying to fix that, or at least do their best in order to do so. So, I mean, it's too little too late, as we've said. So, and it's just, it doesn't really mean anything right now. And so, I mean, it's definitely, Popovich is absolutely right, and definitely he did, put a statement that, I mean, it's hard not to agree with.
I'd agree with what Vlad said. Pop is, he's always one of the most respected coaches in the league, and I think that there's reasons for that. They pick him to lead a lot of the stuff that the NBA has going on, like, the Olympics. He's always like a coach. He's coaching a lot of things for the U.S., and I think his voice definitely carries. And, I don't want to say too much about it, but I'm definitely a Greg Popovich fan, and I like when he speaks out because people listen, and he usually comes very hard. He's not mincing his words, you know what I'm saying? Like, when Popovich speaks, he's talking to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no sugarcoating shit. It's like, he's been against Trump the whole time he's been running, like, right in the freaking locker room after a game, he's voicing his displeasure on political shit. You know what I mean? Even though we know a lot of the news stations frown upon players and coaches voicing their political beliefs and things like that. But like Vlad was saying, he usually agrees with a lot of the stuff Greg Popovich is saying. There's a guy that I think a lot of us usually kind of like disagree when it comes to the shit that he be talking about, and that guy is Kyrie Irving. So we spoke about Kyrie Irving a little bit last show, talking about his sentiments about the NBA not coming back because he wants to focus on social justice and things like that. So, throughout the week, things have been coming up where, there's been some really funny reporting about the situation that's going on that's made me has made me feel some kind of way, or made me think some things about this dude. So the story is like, he only came out against the NBA once he found out he couldn't go to Orlando. So he was ready to start with the league back up, because he thought that he'd be able to go there and, cheer his team on. And as soon as they were like, well, if you're not playing, you can't be there, which makes sense because it's fucking coronavirus. Why would you want an extra body that's not doing anything there? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and then
the whole point of 22 teams and not 30 teams, just eliminate anybody that has no chance of playing.
Yeah, man. And and it's like he threw a tantrum and was just like, let's just not play. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, he's urging other players to like form their own league, which is like, bro, this is not you've played majority of the season, right? So all of a sudden we just let's just forget, let's just start our own league. Like I don't understand that, which, I mean, I'm not opposed to people starting their own leagues as far as like black ownership and things like that, but like, this is not the time, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what would you think of that when you seen that?
I agree with a lot of the things Kyrie was talking about. Starting your own league.
Kyrie.
As black players, starting your own league is a great idea. So focus on social justice is a great idea. But I always knew there was something fishy about it because it's Kyrie. I just don't trust Kyrie. Every time he brings anything up, it's always about him crying for something. It never comes from the heart. Like, Kyrie actually
always ulterior motives.
Exactly. So as soon as I heard it last week, I was like, yeah, I agree with all that, but I ain't fucking with it because it's Kyrie. And then all week, all I listened to was Kendrick Perkins talking about Kyrie is one of the vice president of the NBA Players Association, which means he was on every single call deciding what to do for the league this year. Or every single call deciding what to do for the summer, going to Orlando, 22 team. He was on every single call. And not once did he say, I ain't about that. Not once did he say that until, just like John said, until he found out he couldn't go over there. You know what I mean? So,
he's like a fucking child, dude. It's like that kid. It's like that kid that signed up for the field trip. You know what I mean? And then at the last minute, he fucks up and he's like, "You can't go to the trip." And then now he wants to, cause all kinds of fucking trouble just because he can't go on the trip, dude.
Trying to get all his friends.
He's like fucking Kevin McAllister, dude. Like Home Alone, motherfucker. Like,
I never trusted Kyrie with his bullshit. I never trusted him, so I'm glad that came out. Excuse me. I'm glad players get to see that. And I hope the players that were following Kyrie sees the bullshit, the smoke behind the mirrors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Barry, I know you went off on Kyrie last week, so don't do it this week.
You don't want me to have a Kyrie bashing part 2?
God. You went in on him last week. But yeah,
I won't give it to him like I gave it to him last week.
But I think you already said a lot of the exact stuff we were talking about last week. You know, you
right.
Like
this is what I was trying to bring y'all a light on and make y'all aware of that. This is who Kyrie Irving is. He's a selfish, arrogant, self-centered prick that only thinks of himself, and clearly he got in his feelings as soon as the NBA told him that he couldn't be there since he wasn't gonna play because he's still injured, recovering from that shoulder surgery he recently had. And it's fascinating to me and it's laughable to me that throughout all these calls that they had, he never said anything to Chris Paul, who's the president of the NBA the Players Association, to Michelle Roberts, who's a part of that Players Association as well, and to any of the other people that are part of that committee and part of on the higher ups, or to even Adam Silver as well. So the fact that now he wants to be in his feelings about that is petty and it's childish, you know, and it shows you that the guy's clearly immature and all he thinks about is himself and his own needs, and that he thinks life is pretty much like Burger King, like you can have it your way.
Yeah,
you know, that's how I kind of see him as, is that he thinks that things can go his way, and when they don't go his way, it's an issue, and he gets in his feelings about it, and he wants to be all emotional. So I'm not surprised that, you know, we heard about all this new stuff coming out about him, and that, you know, he acted this way towards that definitely doesn't surprise me at the least bit. If anything, that's what I expected, because I already knew the kind of person and the kind of character that this guy has, and I'm even surprised that he's one of the vice presidents and that he is a leader of that Player Association, because we all know he's the furthest thing from a leader, to say the least, and shouldn't have any sort of leadership role in the Players Association. So that even blows my mind, the fact that they even were more than willing to give him that title. So that's what it is with Kyrie. You're right, he just needs to stop, you know, bullshitting. When he said that last week, I didn't really pay much attention to it because it had, like I said, no credibility, and it didn't really, you know, carry weight, just because I knew he was saying it from his standpoint that he wasn't gonna be able to play and be a part of the NBA bubble experience in Orlando.
Yeah, man. I just think, listen, I really liked Kyrie Irving before he came here. You know, like, I really liked him as a player before he came to Boston. Like,
yeah, I
you know, just
too.
seeing him from afar, seeing the skills that he got, you know, and sometimes he did come off smart. I didn't really see a lot of like the stuff with the media and how condescending he sound all the time when he talked to the media, you know, talking down to you, talking like you don't know what you're doing. It's like, bro, I've been covering the league for like 20 years and you act like we don't know what we're talking about, you know. So it's sad to me that like I can't listen to anything this guy says anymore, you know what I'm saying? And I think the more he talks, the more full of shit everybody sees that he is, man, you know. And I think
I'm glad y'all see it now. This is what I tried to tell you last week. After this, like his image is gonna be changing even more, like throughout the league. You know what I'm saying? With the news that came out about him, you know, just making that 360 turnaround as soon as they told him he couldn't come. It's like that's just childish, man. You know, that's crazy. To Kyrie, he, you know, if it was up to him, he'd definitely not have the season come back after everything that we just talked about. But there are other things that are, you know, that may be affecting an NBA season. So Florida is in some kind of turmoil right now when it comes to the coronavirus. So with the Florida, you know, being possibly the next epicenter of the pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. So they're like about to be leading in this stuff because they opened up pretty early. Like, do you guys think there's a chance that the NBA coming back there could be affected?
I don't think so. I think they're gonna.
Wow, really? I'm surprised you don't.
No, I just think they're gonna create that bubble situation for them.
Yeah.
And nobody else will be able to go in there or go in and out of there. So I don't think the NBA is gonna cancel it because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely concerning as far as the recent reports that and cases that have come out of the coronavirus in Florida. I'm a little, you know, worried about it as far as how it can affect the NBA bubble in Orlando, but I still think that at the end of the day, when it does come time next month for them to restart the season, I still think they be able to do that. One concerning thing that I actually had found out was that apparently the Disney staff that's going to be working in the NBA bubble is actually going to be allowed to come in and out of the bubble. They're actually not going to be staying in the bubble. They actually are the only ones that have access to be able to leave, and they actually won't be tested. So that's definitely something that I know that's a big concern to me, and that's been a big concern to the NBA players and to the NBA themselves as well.
That's like the jail facilities kind of situation, because you know you got the COs that can leave the jail and come back, and then you know the inmates that are just they can't go nowhere, you know. So who's bringing in the virus? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the inmates, man. It's the people bringing the shit in, you know. So I definitely agree with you, Barry. That's definitely concerning right there, man.
Without question.
I think the NBA being such a big organization, I think they'll be able to do something about that.
Yeah.
Give those guys, I don't know, what is it, 100 of those Disney employees? Give each of them a room.
Maybe more, maybe
I mean,
less.
why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, you got a few months to just be here. You cannot have any guests. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything's paid for.
Hang out with NBA players.
Hang out with NBA players. Right. I don't know if I don't know if that's a good situation.
What do you mean?
Right. There's a situation that the players, they're gonna be stuck in one place. You know what I'm saying? They don't have variety that they usually get when they travel to, you know, other. So I don't know. That might be a little problematic. You know, I want to hear those stories about, you know,
the girl that would never meet an NBA player might, you know, meet an NBA player.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I'm like, damn, yo, that could be a situation where it's like,
it'd definitely be a situation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, rest in peace to him. Like, that could be like a Kobe situation, real quick. You feel me? Like,
what happened in Denver?
Wanted to be with somebody, and you know, it then end up working out, and then boom, now it's a big situation. So,
I think it's gonna be. I don't want to speak on the Kobe thing, but I just think it's gonna be a similar situation as the Olympic villages.
Yes, the Olympic Village,
where everybody's in the same bubble, everybody in the same area.
Everybody's sleeping with the same people.
People are adults. Handle yourself as adults.
Nah, man, that's like the college campus type of vibe right there.
Just handle yourself as adults.
I don't know, you know.
But you guys aren't worried about the Disney staff and employees that's going to be working there, and that's actually not. At least as of right now, the NBA said that they're not going to be tested throughout that time, that they're going to be working in the bubble.
No, we've gone past that. We've gone past that. We said we are concerned about that, but we believe that the NBA and Disney will work that out because they are such big companies. They will make sure that those guys stay in the bubble and get tested.
But they're unionized, so I don't know if they can. There's only so much they can do since the Disney workers are unionized. That's what I was reading up.
Get it? Like we're definitely concerned.
I didn't know about that part.
But like. Fuck the union, bro. Like the union is there to protect people, right?
You can't say
so
that,
why would I'm part of a union, so I'm grateful for the union. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, if it comes to people's health and safety, like, fuck all that them guidelines, bro. Like, make an exception for these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, still represent them as a union.
Yeah, I think I believe the union will work it out with the NBA and Disney to get to have those people stay in the same bubble. Like, even if they have to pay them extra, pay them hazard pay or pay
do something, man.
Right, well, at least have them tested, or right. Figure out some kind of way to make it safe for everybody.
I would not be a fan of people going in and out. Hell no. If I'm a player, that's a major concern for me.
Yeah,
like, they mean to tell me the workers are gonna leave? Like, nah, fam.
I think everybody,
especially since no one else can leave. Right, because none of the players or the coaches can leave unless if they have like an excuse, like a family emergency or something like that.
And the place is freaking riddled with coronavirus cases right now, and it's climbing. It hasn't started. They opened up early. They opened up everything, and now the shit's climbing back up.
Right,
So I don't know, man. I definitely hope the NBA comes back. I don't think it's in jeopardy right now since, they put a lot of money into it already. So I think it will come back, but you never know. We'll see, man.
No, but I'll say this. I do have faith and confidence and trust in Adam Silver that he'll be able to, figure out something in order to make this environment as safe as possible for, all the NBA teams that are going to be in the bubble next month. I definitely have a lot of, respect for him, and know he'll do the best possible job in making this the best experience and the safest experience for these NBA teams.
More on the NBA, more backlash for 45 in office. Jason Tatum, proud of that guy. He came out against Trump, when he talked about the players kneeling, how he's not gonna watch, and Jason Tatum was basically like, we ain't worried about you type shit, so shout outs to him for stepping up, speaking out. Him and Jaylen Brown have been like really outspoken throughout this whole situation, and it's good to see as Boston Celtics fans, so shout outs to them. Another NBA news: Adam Silver is giving any player that does not want to play until June 24th to declare so that they're not going to play for the season, and they are going to get a fraction of their contract, of course. So if they so choose to do that, they're definitely not going to get game checks or the usual pay that they usually get. So if I'm an NBA player, you guys think a lot of players would opt out?
Well, players are already talking about an opt-out.
Right.
Out.
How many do you think will realistically opt out?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just think that if you have players like Kyrie talking, even though we don't see Kyrie as a leader, some players do see him as a leader. Yeah. Some players grew up watching Kyrie and they idolize him.
Yeah.
And you got Dwight Howard coming out saying that he's not coming back. So I think players are looking up to those players.
That was my next question.
That might influence those players. So,
what do you do if you're LeBron and Dwight Howard says he's not playing for the rest of the season? Like, are you upset? Like, what?
I think knowing LeBron will be okay with whatever decision how Dwight makes.
He's not Jordan.
Nah. Jordan would Jordan would have aired him out. Kobe would have aired him out. A lot of
Soft.
Kobe would have said more than soft, but I just think that some players are gonna opt out. I mean, even before all that happened, Dame Dollar didn't want to play.
That's true. True.
Yeah, man. He's true.
So
I think that was
a
motivated.
lot of high-profile players.
I think that was motivated because he didn't think he was going to get a chance to play because they were out of the playoff picture.
Right.
Even when that happened, I think he didn't want to play.
Really?
Even when they decided the 13 teams in the West.
Even though they got players coming back and they could be a totally different team.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So 22 teams, 30 teams voted for the setup that's gonna happen in the summer.
Yeah.
Only one team voted against it,
and that was the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Even though they know they were gonna be in it.
Okay.
So it wouldn't surprise.
They weren't sure.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me to see a lot of players opt out. Even though that's not what I want, but it wouldn't surprise me to see them opt out. What were you gonna say, Barry?
Yeah, I was just gonna say even before the format was, that came out, with what just recently came out, you still think that, Damian Lillard actually didn't want to play?
I just told you the Portland Blazers voted against the.
They voted against it.
And it's because they were listening to Dame Dollar and CJ McCollum.
Yes, so.
Yeah, man. And that takes us on to the NHL, man. Vlad,
So we're just gonna give a couple of quick updates on the NHL, MLB, and some soccer updates. We're not gonna stay too long on them. So we'll start with the NHL. So the NHL camps will start on July 10th. NHL playoff will start July 30th. The NHL has also been testing their players for COVID-19. They tested 200 players. 11 out of the 200 players came back positive.
Wow, that's not bad.
Which is not bad, actually.
It's not bad at all.
It isn't.
That's less than 10%.
Good for them.
That's less than 10%, so that's really good.
That's good.
The Tampa Bay Lightning had a COVID outbreak. I'm not sure how many players had the COVID, but they had a COVID outbreak. So it's something to watch. It's something to watch for all the sports because all the sports are planning on coming back, but coronavirus cases are rising in a lot of different states. So hopefully that doesn't stop all those progress that those leagues had made. As far as the MLB, we've talked about that the last 3-4 shows. Finally, this week, the owners proposed a 60-game season with fully prorated salaries. One of the big argument that the players and the MLBPA and the owners were having was around pay, right? Like, did they want to pay the players their full salary? So they finally decided that they will pay their players their full salary. One thing, the players have to vote on that proposal. It was said that they were taking a couple of days to see how the COVID outbreak is going before they send that proposal. But Barry, you were mentioning earlier that they will sign that proposal today, Sunday.
They actually will vote on it. The players are gonna have a vote on it Sunday. That they decided to, before the getting more data on the recent corona outbreaks, that they're gonna actually do the vote on Sunday. So we'll see how that goes.
Today's Sunday, July 21st. So if the players decide to vote on that today, we'll get the results and we'll see if they agree on it. The chances are that they will agree on it, especially for the fact that they're gonna get paid all the money that they wanted. So I don't see them voting against it, but we never know. I don't know what you guys think.
Hey man, I just good luck to them, dude. That's all I'm saying, because like this shit's ridiculous, and we talked about it already, man.
It is.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for MLB soccer. So over the week we had the Coppa Italia, and that was Napoli versus Juventus. Napoli won Coppa Italia against Ronaldo's Juventus, so that was a big loss for Ronaldo to win another another cup. So he missed out on that. The Premier League.
Bet you're happy.
I am happy.
He's a messy guy.
I am happy. The Premier League came back this last Wednesday. The players wore Black Lives Matter. The players' jersey said Black Lives Matter on the back of the jersey.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, which is pretty
Wow,
I love that.
That is awesome.
Every player's name in the back was replaced with Black Lives Matter.
And then the games that I watched the Manchester City versus Arsenal game, and before the game, all the players took a knee on the field. So that was like really beautiful, just to see how the protest is affecting the world, and how high profile players are making statements, and high profile teams, high profile leagues are supporting the movement. Last thing I want to talk about is the MLS. So the MLS agreed on a World Cup like tournament, which I talked about a couple episodes ago.
Yep.
So there's gonna be 54 matches played. There's 6 groups. Teams will arrive in Florida on June 24th. July 8th, the tournament starts. July 25th to July 28th will be the round of 16. July 30th to August 1st will be the quarterfinals. Semifinals will be August 5th to 6th. And August 11th will be the final. So I'm definitely excited about it. Next week I will come here and talk about the 6 different groups, and talk about which team has the most chance of winning and which group is the group of death. So tune in for that next week.
Thank you, Vlad. I appreciate that, man.
You're welcome.
You know, soccer fans, man, you can always come on Pro Fan Sports Podcast and learn what the hell's going on, because, you know, it's not really on all the news channels like that. So
it's not.
Vlad got you, man. So I appreciate it. Before we move on to the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week, I just wanted to remind people to please email us your questions or send us a message on our social media. Okay, so Instagram, I'm on there all the time, profans_sports, twitter.com/profansports, facebook.com/profansports. Send us a question, man, and if you know us, you got our numbers. Again, send us a text. You know, we'll get you on the show either way, man. But B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week, Barry, man.
Yes, so for the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week, we have this week an Angels player and future Hall of Famer, first baseman Albert Pujols. So he gets the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week because he decided to cover the salaries of the Angels staff members based in Dominican Republic who were let go earlier in June by the Los Angeles Angels. He's going to be covering 5 months' salary for each of the employees for a total of $180,000. So I thought that was really cool and awesome for him to do that, to help his people and who were working for the Angels and that were from the Dominican Republic, since he himself is from the Dominican Republic, to be able to help those guys out from a financial standpoint and still have some money coming in to be able to do what they need to do from a financial standpoint. So big ups and big shout outs to Albert Pujols for doing that, and he's definitely one of my favorite players in the league, and I'm not surprised that he did something like that, because he's always been that kind of person and a generous and first class guy and one of the classier guys in the MLB. So that kind of just pretty much exactly confirms and validates, him being that kind of person, on and off the field. So congrats to Albert Pujols on being the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week this week.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations to Albert. Always a good guy. But at the same time, I'm just still why are these players having to pay, employee shit? You know what I'm saying? You're an employee yourself. Right. It's like we working in the same building. I get laid off, but you're paying my salary instead of the fucking company doing that, which is what is up with that?
The owners have way too much money.
Billions, dude. Y'all got so much fucking money, and you guys watch your own players give out monies to your employees, which it makes no sense to me, but shout outs to him, man.
Yeah, big shout outs to him.
People like David Price, and I know a couple other guys have done the same things too, man. So shout outs to Albert Pujols again for being the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week. And lastly, man, again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, all the fathers listening, all the fathers handling everything that they're supposed to, man. So this is our show, Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Thank you for listening, if you're still listening, and catch us next week, man. And that's our show. Have a good week, everybody.
Peace out. Have a good week.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like Pro Fan Sports Podcast videos, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps us out greatly.
New episode will be dropping every Wednesday morning. Clips will be dropping every Wednesday afternoon. Click on the bell button for notifications on all our new videos. Thank you.